Well, I hope you like cats, food, and triggers because we're about to see that in this mirror match here between these two teammates. So let's jump straight in. I can tell you we're joining in game number 2. Game number 1 took a staggering 35 minutes, Cedric. 35!
Yeah.
Good grief.
We may be here for a while, and that's okay with me. Now, one thing I really do enjoy, as we've heard from these players, right, is, you know, we're really happy with our deck. We think we have a really good matchup in these various spots. All great and clearly all accurate.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think does happen sometimes when you are doing some format break-in is how much do you test against the mirror with your teammates, right? And how well do you know what matters and what doesn't matter in the mirror match? That type of thing, because this mirror, frankly, it's a mess. It's a total mess. There's so much going on, but sometimes things can be more simpler than they appear. And what I mean by that is Toru has taken a mulligan, well, quite a few here in game 2.
Hasn't found a green source yet, but does have a cat, has a squirrel, now just needs to find a land to unlock that deadly dispute at the very least. Finds a Kelny Garden, so that'll enter tapped. There is the little plant token that comes along with it, but still okay for the time being. We know how quickly this deck can refill the hand, especially with that Trail of Crumbs. On the other side of things, Ravenous Squirrel, Outland Liberator, as well as now a plant token and a Witch's Oven, so Kumagai a little bit advantaged at this point.
Yeah, Kumagai has a very, very nice setup at this stage of things. You can see the potency and power of Outland Liberator in this matchup. We've mentioned Trail of Crumbs so much. Don't forget about Witch's Oven and just some of those permanents that Outland Liberator, does destroy. So a really good card for these players to have access to.
Yeah, both players do have them. Toru Saito's is still in hand, though. So let's see where we go to first for our player who needs to catch up. Yeah, Riku Kumagai is up a game. So I can't imagine how many clicks per second they were doing in the previous one. If it took 35 minutes. We see there's 10 minutes left on Toru Saito's clock, so he's got some work to do.
Yeah, and you beat me to it because this is so grindy, because it's such a mess, because there's so many game actions going on. The clock is a real factor, so you might get a little bit more aggressive than you normally would in a lot of instances. Now you're seeing Ravenous Squirrel say, yeah, let's get in the red zone right now. Quick block with that plant token, sacrifice it to Witch's Oven. And I think one thing that may happen, this is the first of what is potentially many Golgari food mirrors, is we may see these players play at a very accelerated pace because of how grindy and how game action heavy, this matchup can be.
Yeah. We're going to do our best to keep up with him as Toru Saito is just flying through his decisions here. Outland Liberator is going to hit the battlefield. It can take care of one of those enchantment or artifact on that side of the battlefield. So it is going to be Trail of Crumbs. Goodbye for the time being. We do see that Mystic Repeal in hand for Kumagai, who can also get rid of Trail of Crumbs. But block and a sack here, most likely from the Outland Liberator. So no more Trail of Crumbs. It all got eaten up.
Yep. It's important to manage that resource on both sides of the battlefield because it can run away with the match all by itself. So the players have put a huge priority on having cards that can take care of that. Now we might see this game become about Luris as it's being added to Kumagai's hand.
Yeah. Could play it, but don't want to lose that Ravenous Squirrel. So Kumagai is just going to pass the turn back here. And we're going to see another sacrifice. So one thing that these players don't have is an answer to the Phyrexian Towers. So there will be at least a sacrifice outlet still going. The squirrel, of course, is a source of card draw. That cat's not getting through. So let's munch on it. Let's find a card. Let's see if we can find a goose or something that creates food tokens to get this cat out of the bin.
All right, let's get that in front here now too. Okay.
Interesting. Alrighty.
Yeah, new card. It's another chump blocker there in the garden.
Yep, and with Luris in hand, can easily get that back and get the counters going again. This mirror match it's I enjoy it personally. I love this kind of stuff. This is great.
So this is also an interesting thing now too that I want to bring up. So in our last match, we saw Golgari food against Phoenix, and the chances of Luris living were slim to none.
Yeah.
In this matchup, I don't know, Luris might be hanging around on the battlefield for a while for both players, which is pretty rare.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. You just get to keep recycling your graveyard. As we're going to see the big Ravenous Squirrel, the 9/9, swinging. The little plants will get on the way. Man, these squirrels need trample. Who do I speak to about that?
I think we're good with where we're at.
Deadly Dispute. Oh!
There's some removal.
Hey-o.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what we want to see. Goodness gracious.
Oh, boy.
2 fatal pushes here for Riku Kumagai. 12 crumbs off of the Lurus. So now, I mean, this is as close as a mirror match as you can possibly get.
Yeah, that was sick.
And both players now less than 11 minutes on the clock. Fatal Push is going to take care of Lurus. It's going to get sacrificed. Ravenous Squirrel gets another counter put on it. It's now a 10/10.
Yeah, I think that might be dying here in just a moment too, though.
Oh, yeah. Poor little guy is dead. Sacrificed before killed. Let's draw some more cards here for Toru Saito. And Mystic Repeal is going to get rid of that enchantment. So no more Trail of Crumbs on the battlefield for Toru Saito. No more Lurus. So advantage Riku Kumagai. He is going to try and get this game closed out as quick as he possibly can.
Yeah, Kumagai's got the better battlefield, and that's pretty much underselling it, right? You've got Trail, you've got Lurus, you've got Oven, and we might have, well, I think maybe a concession there, yeah, but
he needs to get it to nighttime.
Yeah, considering still playing it out. I mean, Liberator can kill the Trail, but that's also just a temporary answer because, of course, Lurus will say, hey, I'll bring it back, and that sort of thing. Yeah, so this is yikes.
This is a bit of a yikes here. Yeah, let's push that advantage bar up a little bit because Riku Kumagai is firmly in the driver's seat at this point. Has all the gas, has the engine running, has the Lurus on the battlefield. And another Trail of Crumbs drawn off the top. As is the case. They always come in pairs.
Plenty of mana to work with. Squirrel, Lurus, Trail, Oven. I guess, in theory, missing Cat and a land is not going to help.
That's going to do it. Riku Kumagai, with an overwhelming battlefield, is the next player that we are going to put into the World Championship